What's up, guys? Iceman here. Welcome to Diablo 2 Resurrected. 2.4.3 coming soon. Big changes coming up. This is going to compete with Project Diablo and with Path of Diablo. This is probably going to blow those mods out of the park. So you might want to stop playing those mods right now, because Blizzard is up to it once again, redeeming themselves fully. Yep, just some basic bug improvements here, just some crap that probably needed to be done 30 years ago. But in addition, check this out. Magic Find bonus, oh hell. Now, I already saw this. I took a quick glimpse at it. And, fortunately, it's only going through June 30 to July 4. So however many days that is. Where they give you a 50% buff to Magic Find. Now, the reason why this is a really bad idea is because, partly, this is what Diablo 3 did, where you give them the buff temporarily, and then they play, and then you take the buff away, and they decide maybe they just go do something else, like play Call of Duty or something, until the next buff. And for those who are hardcore fans of Diablo, in my opinion, it's just kind of deterring. Where all of a sudden you have this buff over the weekend, and then it goes away, and through the week, maybe you happen to have a lot more time to play, but it just isn't what it used to be, or how it was over the weekend. So maybe you should just stop playing and go do something else and wait until the next buff. Because your payback per minute playing lacks in probability in finding the good shit when you're playing on the off buff times. You know what I mean? So it's a bad idea. It's kind of like crack cocaine, where it's fun for a minute, but then you become reliant on it, and then it ruins everything. And remember, the reason why we didn't like Diablo 3 is because all the uniques would rain from the sky constantly. Or that's part of the that's part of the equation. That's part of the puzzle, man. As to why that game sucked ass. I mean, there are many pieces to that puzzle, but that's one of them. All uniques had like the same chance to drop, and they would drop all over the place continually, where it was just encumbersome. Just shit falling over the place. I might as well just quit. But they did this buff thing with the torment difficulties, and that's the problem, alright? This is a slippery slope. And I'm a little discouraged seeing this, because my concern is, are they going to do this bullshit in Diablo 4? I mean, I've been saying good things about Diablo 4, and I'm still looking forward to it. But I don't like these Magic Find buffs. Because they look at the charts and they say, oh, we can bring some players back when we do the buff, and then they leave when we take the buff off. Maybe we should just put the buff in permanently, and then they come back, and then they start falling off. They're like, well, why are they falling off? And then Blizzard is like, well, it's because the buff just isn't as cool as what it used to be, so let's increase it some. So they give you 100% bonus to finding magic items, and then they all come back for a minute. But then they start falling away, and then Blizzard's like, well, why are they going away? I'm like, well, it's only 100% Magic Find. They're like, okay, well, let's give them 200% Magic Find permanently. And it's just the cycle continues. So it's like they're trying to get it closer and closer to what we had in Diablo 3 with all that shit just raining from the sky constantly. You know, the only solution, really, is don't do the drugs. You know, don't do this. Don't give us the buffs, ever. That's really the best way to go about it. Alright, that's the truth, and if you guys don't like it, that's fine. The truth can be hard to hear and accept, but that's the truth. This whole buff thing is bullshit. But that's fine. Let's see what else they did. I mean, I hope they don't do that in Diablo 4. I mean, what are the chances this is going to be the only time they do this? Is this going to become a weekend thing? If it becomes a weekend thing, we might as well quit playing throughout the week and just play on the weekends. And change up our schedules accordingly. Find time for Diablo whenever the hell the buffs are. And then just not playing when the buffs are not. Because like I said, you get more bang for your buck if you're playing during the buff times. So when you're not playing during the buff times, it kind of feels like ass. It's like working out in the gym when you're not doing your cycles anymore, if you're doing your cycles. Don't do cycles, but I'm just saying. It's kind of a similar thing. Quality of life improvements. So this is some stuff that I think we've seen in PD2, something to do with the whirlwind and all that. This is nice. Added a new loot to cube skill for controllers in the general skills. I don't play with a controller though. Added a bindable hotkey for mouse and keyboard to directly open the Heraldric cube if it is in your inventory. Yeah, that's really nice. That's thoughtful. I think this is the best thing that they've done yet. Added a new button shortcut to open the Heraldric cube from the inventory menu. Players can, controller stuff, I just don't play the consoles. I know some of you guys do, but I don't play the consoles. I don't really give a shit about that stuff. Added an auto map, auto open setting to allow players to set their preferred auto map position. Okay, and then there's some lobby stuff. Bug fixes. Bug fixes. Whirlwind bug fixes. Whirlwind bug fixes. Online. Just a bunch of weird fixes. So I was kind of expecting a little bit more than that. Stability and performance. Oh, that's good. Because the game, yeah, even on high-end graphic cards, it still would have trouble. But there was something else here. Was that it? Oh my god. I think that's it. Okay, that's it. That's it. Fixed an issue where the first attack of Whirlwind was treated different from the rest. When dual wielding, the first attack will choose 2 targets, just like all the other. Okay, so it's just a couple bug fixes, and we get a little hotkey to open up the cube. To its credit, it receives points for those things, but the magic find thing is just, this is really concerning in my opinion. It's just, where's the loot filter at? Let me know in the comments below. Why can't we stack gems? Like, some of us like to craft. Why can't we stack gems? Why can't we stack runes? Each gem and each rune takes up a very valuable slot in our inventory or a rather small stash, even still with the shared tabs added. Where's our larger stash? Why does a mod like Project Diablo 2 give us like 10 times the stash space and allow us to stack runes and allows us to stack gems and gives us a loot filter? Why don't we have that with this? Like, those are the things that a lot of us, I think, have been wanting for 30 years. Is it about 30 years? 25 years. These are things we've been wanting for like 25, is it 20 years? It's 20 years, it's 20, maybe it's 20 years. We've been asking for this stuff, and it just makes me wonder, do these guys even play the game? Or do they even play the game? Those at Blizzard or whatever. Vicarious Visions or whatever it is. Because you'd think if they played the game, they know that there are just some basic things that need to be done with Diablo 2. And that needed to be done for 20-some years. That a lot of these modders have fixed. These are just fans who don't even get paid to do these mods, really, for the most part. Maybe they get some money here and there somehow, some way, but they don't directly get paid for it. It's not like their full-time job or their career. So it's odd how we don't see that with this company. Is that strange? I mean, maybe, is it a bad thing? Do you guys think, is it something we shouldn't want or need, or is it not what we need? Do we not need a loot filter? Do we not need the ability to stack runes and gems, or maybe even better, a currency tab for our stash? But I think that's just too much to ask at this point. And that's just the crust of things. Like, I wouldn't mind being able to corrupt items, some endgame content, things like that, but it just seems evident that that's going way too far at this point. But do we need this magic find buff over those other things? Like I said, this is just going to ruin the game. This is a slippery slope. So do we want to just ruin the game? Or do we want to not ruin the game and not have the magic find buff? And maybe have some things that most of us have been wanting for 20-some years. Like a loot filter. The ability to stack runes and gems. Maybe a currency tab. Maybe some endgame mapping system. Or a newer difficulty, something like that. Maybe a little bit of balancing of items here and there. So that the 95% of items in this game that are useless can potentially have some use. I mean, maybe we need some things like that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Would you guys rather have all that? Or this bullshit that's just going to ruin the game? Which one do you prefer? Let me know in the comments below. And like this video if you will. And become a patron or a channel member to support me. Blessings to you guys. May you have many wives, my supporters. But would you guys rather have this magic vine buff and ruin the game? Or would you rather have all that other crap? Let me know in the comments below. I'll talk to you all later. Peace be with you.